A couple of months ago, I think it was a couple months ago, we had the honor to have musician Ted Newsom, better known as the Rose Phantom, and Purgatory Pete in the studio. It was a midnight show on Friday night, and we got him back here tonight. Guys, thanks for giving up a couple hours and stopping by.
Good evening.
Thanks for having us again. Yeah,
it's an honor to have you.
It was back in January.
Was it January?
It was
February.
It was January.
Yeah, it was cold.
It's cold outside.
Sure. And for those listeners that didn't hear that show that night, Ted, you've been a musician forever. You want to talk a little bit about that? How you got into? I mean, we've got a lot to talk about here tonight, but music, of course, is your life revolves around it, and it revolves around you. You want to talk about how you got into music? You've got some amazing stuff. I mean, it's all your own stuff. It is off the chart type stuff. Just so cool, man.
Definitely off the chart. Yeah, let's talk about it. I've been a musician for pretty much all of my life, and which has been kind of a struggle here in Utah. Being a musician here in Utah, where they don't allow music
or dancing.
And yeah, that's man. That's what else can I say about that?
Well, how did you get started in music? How did it all come together for you? I mean, did you start at a very young age? I know you play keyboards, you write your own stuff. Did you have a desire to do it from a real young age?
I was more of an introvert when I was younger,
mm-hmm.
and I wasn't necessarily. I didn't find the musician within yet.
Okay.
Unlike my brother, for example, but it came later. Once I stumbled upon the musician inside, it was almost like that was the path to take.
Now,
the natural path?
Are you self-taught, or did you take formal lessons? I mean, did you take formal instruction? Because your stuff is again, and we're going to play some of it tonight.
Thank you.
Your stuff is amazing. But did you take any formal training, or did it come from the heart and soul?
Came from the heart and soul,
Okay.
And I think in a lot of ways that's maybe where rock and roll, kind of true rock and roll, comes from. I'm not pigeonholing my stuff as rock and roll, but there's rock and roll elements there, and I don't know. I've never needed to get lessons or anything like that. I don't know, or maybe I do.
Well, no, I mean, there's some. I mean, I've been a musician since the age of 4. For me.
And what did you play?
Keyboards. I actually. I worked for Hammond organ.
Hammond
for
organ,
years.
yeah.
And I took a lot of formal instruction, and I think for me, the formal instruction kind of quelled my abilities down. I mean, we're a little bit different in age, but I mean, when I started, it was kind of like, learn how to read music, learn timing, learn this, learn that, and I think my abilities at a younger age were kind of suppressed. A lot of people say, the guys that play by ear and whatever, to me, it suppressed my abilities until I came across the right instructor and the right people to work with who let me do what I wanted to do. I mean, they taught me a lot with formal instruction. I did learn a lot of things. I incorporated those things. But I mean, some of the greats, like yourself, and I'm going to tell you that. I mean, your stuff is just amazing. That's truly from the heart and soul, and that's a gift. It really is.
Yeah, I feel that, when you have formal training, that can sometimes stifle something.
Right.
And that's part of a, I've met some people who are classically trained
mm-hmm.
at the piano or whatever,
mm-hmm.
and, I used to joke about it kind of growing up, but it seemed like those people couldn't do anything without their music charts.
Right.
It's like, okay, let's take away the music charts here. Play me something that you made up. Play me something original here, and they can't do it.
Right.
Most of them.
Oh yeah, and I'm not saying it because there are a lot of great musicians that can produce unbelievable stuff, and now today with the PC technology, I had the opportunity about a year ago to sit down at a keyboard and just play, and when I actually taught for quite a few years, and I developed a theory course, a chord construction theory course. I mean, it was just buying the sheets of paper and using a manuscript pen and writing everything out. Now you can sit there and play and click the mouse, and I was blown away where this thing just started writing. I mean, it was putting it right to the paper right there. I mean, the technology has come so far, and I think that, you know, kind of in the early days, especially in the early days of playing the organ and piano, you didn't have the technology that we have today, but it is an art to be able to use all that stuff. To be able to incorporate it. Yeah, there's one thing to play stuff off music and read music, and I'm not saying anything wrong with that, but I mean, now it's the whole package. Now it's using the electronics, it's using the computer, it's using, you know, the MIDI, it's just bringing the whole thing together. Man, that's a science in itself, and a talent to make it all work the way it works, and you've proved that.
Yeah, I mean, you have to know how to use the technology for your benefit, but also know not to rely on it.
Right.
You know? And that's kind of, I know mainly my music's electronic, but I'm playing it live.
Right.
And I'm still, my approach isn't kind of the new way, I want to say. It's kind of an older approach when it comes to making electronic music. In today's world, I'm using an older approach, which is, I think, can give it more of an organic feel.
Right, it's your style. It's you. That's what sets you apart from other people.
Well, thanks. Yeah.
But we've been talking about the music side of this, and we're going to get into kind of where that is led you and where it is leading you. Is that the music, what makes your music unique and makes you unique is that spirit, if you want to call it the spiritual side. I'm taking religion out of it now. I'm just saying that spirit, that essence, that what makes you you, and taking this talent and this gift that you've got, and now you're taking us to many different levels. You've been doing and for people that, put on my glasses, getting older, for people that want to go check out your website, it's therosephantom.com. You've got a ton of music out there. You have got, and I'll be honest, you've got MTV quality, VH1 quality videos that you guys have, I don't know if you both have worked on, but you've produced. And I mean, that in itself is a work of art. So people need to go out and check that out, because there's so much out there that has to offer. And like I said, being able to pull that all together, man, that's...
Yeah, you gotta, if you're serious about what you do, you gotta do, I mean, if you're gonna do something, you gotta do it to the best of your capabilities. And when it comes to the videos and photography and stuff, I collaborate with this guy who's on the side of me.
Purgatory Pete.
Purgatory Pete.
The
phenomenal photographer.
Yeah, that's correct.
I want to kind of take his skills and kind of, you know.
Yeah, we work a lot together recently for the past couple years.
Yeah.
Do you guys do music? I mean, do you work with Ted to do music videos, or is it a lot?
Yeah, we do music videos together a lot.
Yeah, most of those videos on my website and stuff, all my music videos, when it comes time to do one, you know, I need a cinematographer. So, you know, it's like
that's where I come in.
That's where he comes in. I'm looking at him. It's like, hey, man, I have to be in front of the camera and kind of sell the thing, you know, to the audience. So I need someone to capture that, but also do it. Someone who has a good eye, and so I trust this yahoo that's sitting to the left of me. I trust him.
Well, and you have to, and you guys got a good working relationship, because again, I mean, you can be the most talented guy in the world, but if you can't put the videos together, the film together,
exactly,
or if you're the greatest photographer, and you know,
sometimes, yeah, you need to bring in other people's strengths. Where, you know, I usually do everything alone anyway. Like I'm producing and recording all my music, and I do everything alone. I'm such a loner. it's good to have someone else
Until I come in.
until he comes in. Then we're best friends forever.
But we're very different in certain ways, but we connect in this like higher area.
And the higher area, I think, is it's an artistic level. I can communicate with Purgatory Pete here on an artistic level that I can't with most other people. We just understand.
Well, you both got the same vision.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and if
We collaborate just so well together. And
yes,
it's hard to explain.
if he has a vision, say for one of his photography series or something, I can dive into that world with him, even though maybe it's not my vision. I can
Right.
go there with him and kind of we can explore that. And the same goes for him. When I have a vision, it's like, hey, I want to bring you into this because I think what you have to offer can really make this thing shine a little bit more.
Sure.
So that's us. That's what
That's
Rose
what you
Phantom
do.
and Purgatory Pete do.
Now,
Create.
with your website, you put together. You do a lot of your own music. You do your own videos. Are you continuing to do that? I mean, we're going to be talking about some other things that you're getting into, but are you continuing to develop new material, new songs, new videos? I mean, is that something that's ongoing? And one of the questions that somebody sent in is, do you perform here locally in Salt Lake City?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Not very often though. I do have a gig coming up at the Utah Arts Festival.
Okay.
Friday, June 27th.
Okay.
And I believe it's at 5 o'clock in the evening. And they have yet to inform me of which stage I'm performing on. So that's all the details I have on that. But I'll be posting it on the Facebook page,
and stuff like that. Sure.
Facebook.com/TRP official.
Okay.
That's where they can find out more about what I do. And also to answer the first question, yes, I am still moving forward with music and still creating, still doing videos, and just actually released a new single just this past Tuesday.
Is that what we're going to hear a little bit later on?
Yes, and we'll play that. The
Okay.
Message is
Okay.
the name of this
We
new
will.
single, and also Purgatory Pete and I shot a video for that song,
Cool.
actually in Canyonlands.
And also the artwork on the album covers was shot the same time we were shooting that music video too.
Gotcha.
Yes, so it's a good video. I think it turned out well. Well, you can't go wrong when you're out in the Moab desert,
I don't know.
and the scenery and everything's
The
spectacular. The vibe, and I definitely check that video out. Yeah.
So if we could talk to you, Pete, have you been a photographer your whole life? Did you get into it recently?
For the past 5 years, I've been photographing. I started when I was like 18. I got into it a little bit. Then I put it away, got into some other bad stuff, fell in with a bad crowd. But eventually I made my way out of there and just started focusing all those problems I used to focus on something else into my photography. And that's where I'm kind of expressing myself now instead of wasting
Doing
my
bad
time.
things.
He's using
instead
it.
of wasting my
He found
life.
something to use as an outlet for all his repressed feelings that come from living in this world, which I have too. We all have them, but
We do.
we need, especially when you're an artist, that's kind of the drive is to find outlets. You have so much angst and rage bottled up that you need an outlet that just gets it out, and that's what music does for me, as photography does for Pete here.
Yeah, and I started seeing the world in a different perspective, not just in like seeing landscapes. I create these characters like Mr. Lampshade. I'm having an art show.
Okay.
He's having an art show.
That's cool. Mr. Lampshade.
Mr. Lampshade.
It is
you
just
should
like kind of
check that out.
making fun of the way society views people
Yeah.
in a certain way.
No, That's cool.
And I'm living my life as a lampshade.
And where can they see this?
Yeah, and then you're a professional photographer too. You do photography work.
Mhm.
So if our listeners want to get, and let's see, the line you told me last time, your punchline, your tagline is, "We make people look beautiful."
No, that was just sarcastic.
Okay.
It's actually like bringing out all their bad qualities.
Well, hold on, he doesn't do weddings.
Right, you don't do weddings,
I do
but
funerals.
you do
He
funerals.
does funerals
Okay.
and wakes.
Okay. But where can people, if they want to have use your services, how can they get a hold of you?
PurgatoryPete.com.
Okay.
And I'm also having an art show at the Shred Shed, July 19th, 2014.
Okay. Mr. Lampshade will be there.
Mr. Lampshade will be there. Pretty big artworks of him.
July 19th at the Shred Shed. That's a Saturday. What time?
Still deciding on a time. If you guys want to get in contact with me, I also have my Facebook too.
And
Yeah, we'll post a link up on there.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
And I go by Purgatory Pete.
Okay. Sounds good.
You can't really forget a name like that. Purgatory Pete, you know?
No, you can't. No,
Slides
you-
right off the tongue.
It
you
does.
can't. Yeah, no, hey.
Or as I like to call him, Purgatory Pimp. Sorry.
So you do the video work, you do the photography work, you do the music. You guys kind of bring it all together. Well, and again, the video that we can post up and people need to take a look at. We're going to talk about that, about your kind of your projects that you're working on. It sounds like it's a good fit.
Oh yeah, yeah. Like I said, it's like I need people in my life that can see my vision and want to enhance it and go forward with it with me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that gets me all riled up inside. And
It's kind of a rush too.
Yeah.
Like just thinking about it always like that.
yeah. And also, you know, when we're in it, we're filming, say for example, like when we were filming the Message music video, when was that? The end of April? Yeah,
I think so.
in Canyonlands. I was standing on this a cliff, and how far down? It was a couple thousand feet down.
Yeah, it's pretty far.
He was getting pretty close to me, and you know, I wasn't paying. I'm in my own little world. I'm in the song. You know, when you're lip syncing in a video, you just kind of have to turn into that character. I'm lost, so I almost actually fell off the cliff, and he had to grab me.
Wow.
So I almost died during the making of the Message music video. It's a fun little fun fact.
So you went down there, did your music. When you do a video, I would assume it's a ton of work. Do you have to do it? Do you have to take quite a few takes? You have to film it quite a few different times,
Mhm.
and then pull it all together.
Yeah,
Yes.
and I'd say the hard part. I mean, I edit all my videos, and that's actually the hard.
Very good editor.
Thank you. It's the hard part, but also it's the most fun.
Right.
Because you get to go into that world, and you're kind of, you're isolated just with the computer, and that's where the magic happens, is in the editing process. But that's where all the work, you know, my videos are pretty processed as well.
Oh no,
just with coloring and
Sure.
color correction, things like that, and custom coloring.
Very avant-garde.
Yes.
I'd say.
Perfect. And also, there's another word here for my videos. But
Different.
I can't. Different, that's...
Unique.
No, what is it? We gotta think of this word or else I can't move on.
I know.
You know the word,
Yeah,
right?
I can't
Come
say
on,
it either.
especially the ones where I'm dressed up as the drag devil character. Come on,
My mind's going blank.
No,
right now.
come on.
I can't help you there.
Pat. You don't know the
I'm
word?
lost. No, I guess I had to.
My
Can
mind's
someone
moving forward now.
call in?
Yeah.
Can someone go view my videos and call in and tell me this word I can't think of?
I had it.
I have it, I have it.
It slid out after I said avant-garde.
Yes. We can move on. I know we don't want dead air. I know that's a no-no in the radio land. So.
But processing those videos, I've had the opportunity to do that a little bit, and I'm terrible at it. And anyone who thinks it's easy is crazy, because that is an art, in itself to pull all that stuff together.
Mhm.
I mean, when people look at when they look at a music video clip, a 3-minute clip or a 5-minute clip, I mean, to do it at the level that you do, and a lot of other artists do, I mean, it's a ton of work. There's nothing easy about it.
You kind of have to have a rhythm with editing, and that's something that you kind of, I want to say, acquire. If that's the right word I can use there, or attain. We'll say that word. I'm having a thing with words tonight. But that's
I'm
something.
still thinking on
yeah,
that
you're still
other
thinking
one.
about that one. That's something that comes over time. You kind of have to develop your rhythmic editing. That's what I call my editing style. It's very rhythmic, and you can get lost. And there's a rhythm to it, to the editing. So if no one really understands what I'm talking about here, just for example, go view my new music video, The Message, and you it just flows. When something flows very well, that means there's a nice rhythm there in the editing. Eccentric? No.
I'd say eccentric with the videos.
No, that's not the word I was thinking of.
Eclectic.
Eclectic. No.
That's one of them houses with all kinds of weird furniture.
Now you want to know the word. Huh?
Kooky.
No, come on. What was it? What's the... when people see some of my other videos, not necessarily The Message, but say All I Want music video.
The style?
I've got
the style, the feeling?
Yeah, I've got the devil horns on.
Yeah.
I'm dressed up in that character. People often say it is very...
This.
No.
I don't know.
Come on.
I don't either.
Oh, come on.
It'll pop up when you at least, you'll
Just in the middle of the sentence.
The middle. Okay, if it does,
just blurt it out.
I will blurt it out.
I know, it's fine.
Okay, because this is going to bother me.
It's fine. It's okay.
Okay.
It's all right, Ted.
All right. Well,
You're okay.
Someone please call and tell me.
What the word is. It's a depthy conversation we're having tonight, but that's okay.
Let's move on.
Let's move on. All right.
Sorry.
So no, it's fine. It's fine. So you do the music. Purgatory Pete does the video. You put it all together. You're going to do a show. Hopefully get a chance to do a few this year. Is it a one-man type of thing? You do it all on your
The
own?
live shows?
The live shows. Do you have a band?
I've got a live band.
Gotcha.
I am a solo artist. It's kind of like David Bowie. When you go see David Bowie, he's going to have musicians with him.
Sure.
Same kind of thing.
Sure.
People are coming to see the Rose Phantom, but I've got my backing girls. Yes, you heard correct. Girls.
In the back.
In the back.
Singing.
At the back door.
And if people,
I'm a backdoor man. I mean, what can I say?
if people
Sorry.
go to your website, you have all your different videos out there, all your different music, all your different songs. Can they get a flavor of your stuff?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
If they just go to therosephantom.com, they'll get a flavor.
And then you got a lot of your videos. They're all on YouTube. All your music videos. I saw quite a few of them out there.
Yeah, I've got about 1 million music videos. Man, it's a lot of videos.
You do have a lot of videos.
I mean, well, that's my life.
I work hard.
That's.
He works harder.
Basically, when you go to my website, you're looking at the last kind of 11 years of my life.
Wow.
Really. Pretty much during high school and after high school. Pretty much once I became the Rose Phantom, I've kind of done all this work.
Plus you work a full-time job, correct? I mean, you live life. I mean, so this is all...
Well, no, I do not work a full-time job.
Okay.
I don't. I do get money from other places other than music. That just sounds bad.
He is not a drug dealer, I promise.
No, nothing like that. I do some work at, I teach astronomy and things like that, and I coordinate laser light shows and things of that nature. Things that.
But I mean, you have a job to pay the bills and then do this too. I mean, and this is a full-time commitment.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to kind of make ends meet just with art these days, because we live in a world that's so, flooded, a sea of mediocrity thanks to technology, and everyone thinks they're an artist, and, I'm just going to say something right now. Either you're an artist or you're not. You're either born one or you're not. And I think that's where our problem lies, is everyone can do all these things. People can simply make a song on their computer. They could take a decent photograph thanks to their iPhones with the
technology.
Yeah, the technology is basically doing it for them. There's no there's no skill involved. They don't have to know how to work a camera or know how to set an aperture or anything like that.
Right.
So I want to say the skill level of things that has dropped over the past definitely 10 years even.
Well, the one thing that I've noticed is that there's a lot of people. Everybody wants the instant gratification. I mean, so many people today, especially the young people, they don't want to work for things anymore. I mean, they want it right now. They want to go to the internet, and they want to do these things. They say making music and stuff like that. They just want to get out there, click, 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 and that's it. They don't realize the time and effort that goes in to do it right.
Yeah.
And again,
it takes a lifetime to be able to produce things that like I've produced, and even Pete here has produced. That takes a lifetime.
Well, and you have to have the passion too.
Oh, without the passion,
right.
There's no way. There's no way you'd even stay in the game. You know what I mean? Why do I still do this year after year? Am I making millions of dollars? No. Do I want to make millions of dollars? No, I don't. I don't think artists should be too rich. That almost can, stifle the creative process. When an artist gets everything he wants, or
that's because they're owned by the Illuminati.
Yeah. They sold their soul.
They sold their soul to the devil.
Can we talk about that kind of stuff?
Sure we can. That's what this is all about. But
I don't want to be gunned down in the parking lot.
No, you're not gonna. But I mean, really, it's the passion. People just have kind of lost the passion for things. I mean, they just don't. It's the instant gratification. You want to take a call?
Yeah, let's take a call.
All right, let's go and take a call.
Let's take a call.
Caller. Uh-oh. Well, they were there and they are gone.
They're gone.
Caller, call back. I don't know what happened. Something switched over.
They wanted instant gratification, and you didn't answer the phone quick enough for them.
We're going to take a quick break in studio tonight. Ted Newsom, better known as the Rose Phantom Purgatory Pete's here. We're going to talk about music. We're going to talk about their new projects coming up. Stick around. Fringe Radio on K-Talk, AM 630. We'll be back on the other side. All right, everybody, welcome back to the Fringe Radio Show. Tonight in studio, our friend the Rose Phantom Purgatory Pete's here. Let's go ahead and get Eagle on the line. Eagle, good evening. Welcome to Fringe Radio. How are you, my friend?
I'm fine. First to you as the host. You had some excellent shows tonight.
Well, thank you.
But this filmmaker, to you, young man, my question is, have you ever made a full-length movie?
I've always wanted to make a full-length film. That's something that I kind of aspire to do. And I can give you kind of some excuses as to why I haven't.
Well, no. I'm not looking for any excuses. My next question is, someday would you like to make a full-length movie?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think about it at least. I actually think about it like once a day, probably.
All the time, huh?
Sometimes I wake up and I go, I gotta just do it. I gotta just do my film before I hit 30 years old. I want to be able to do my film, but it just has to. It just has to have the budget and the backing, and to fulfill.
Sure, I got you. Okay, that's fine. Now, listen, the longest length film that you have made, how long has it been?
Well, I consider some of my music videos kind of short films, because that's kind of what they are, some of them. But the longest thing so far is actually what we will be talking about probably a little later.
Yeah, in the next hour.
The debut Conjuring the Spirits episode. It's an hour long, and
Wow,
it's a documentary style ghost hunting.
You are full of ideas, but I would assume that the shorter the film, the more skill you have to have if you're going to have something that makes sense.
Yeah, that's even harder to do, you know.
Wow.
But if I did make a film, which I will someday, I hope, because I have the idea. I already have pretty much it's written already in up here in my head. I just have to kind of manifest that vision, but that vision's going to take not only a good amount of money, but just time and hours of editing and
production.
And I also would be composing the film score. That's another area of making a film that intrigues me, is applying music to it.
Oh yeah.
One day, Eagle.
Yeah, he's a talented guy, and his style of music may be a little different, but it's to you.
I certainly appreciate the show tonight. It's been very, very informative from minute one to right now.
Well, thank you, and we'll keep these guys around for another hour. So we're going to be talking about a lot of stuff.
Okay, thank you.
Okay,
Thank
great.
you.
Take
Thanks,
care.
Eagle.
Bye. Yeah. I had the opportunity to go to the Comic-Cons and meet some different independent filmmakers, and I mean, everybody looks towards this big box stuff like the summer. And I think Godzilla was probably the most talked about movie, and it was cool.
I didn't talk about it, you know.
Well, I don't
I don't even know it.
I don't care.
Well, see, because you're a little different. But I mean, that's what the majority of people look at, is they look at the big commercialized stuff. But it's these short independent films, or even these, not necessarily short, but the independent films that have so much heart and soul in them.
They have an impact on everybody's lives.
Right.
That's where the gold is at, really. You know, if you want to see a good film, you know, don't go to the movie theater.
Right.
You know.
We'll do your music video or your message here in just a little bit. I think it's about 5 minutes. We've got an NBC News break coming up in just a little bit. It looks like 5 minutes exactly. So watch the clock, and we'll roll into the news, and then come back and talk about your other, your main project you're working on. I want to talk to you too about YouTube on the other side, both of you. YouTube is pulling music like crazy. I don't know how many videos that they have. I listen to a lot of music on YouTube, and I know your feelings. You're very passionate about people stealing stuff, and I know we had that conversation about people ripping stuff off, and especially people that work hard to produce this stuff. But YouTube is just pulling. Well, they're not pulling the videos down. They're pulling them down with all the legalese. Right now, if you go to YouTube and try to find Frank Sinatra, you will not find a Frank Sinatra video, a song, a home film that has Frank Sinatra music in the background. I mean, they're on a rampage right now. I think that, for what it's worth, I think that they're clamping down on this stuff, on the theft of music.
Yeah, I have mixed feelings about that.
Okay, but I'd like to talk to you about that.
Yeah. The feelings are mixed, though.
Okay. I know, because when I met you, they weren't mixed. When you gave me a CD, you're like, I remember when I first met you over there at the TV station, you went, do you rip off music, or do you buy CDs? And I do buy CDs. I got an unbelievable collection. And you're like, okay, here you go, here's a CD.
Yeah.
And that was the first time I ever met you.
Pretty much how I feel about it. How much time do I have for the break?
About 50 seconds.
NBC News break coming up.
Well, we're going to play your stuff.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Real quick.
Go ahead.
You know, if this is where I have mixed feelings about kind of stealing music and stuff like that. I don't steal music. I have some music buddies that I trade music with.
Right.
You know, I don't see the harm in that. But when you're kind of a independent, struggling musician, that the exposure is more important than the music, for me at least. So if people are out there burning my CDs and passing them around and just stealing the music, but passing it around,
Right.
that justifies it for me. I'm okay with that. Just get the music out there, because that's the most important thing,
Okay.
not the money.
All right, let's get your music out here. This
Money
is
would be
called-
nice, though.
This is called The Message. This is Ted here, the
Rose Phantom, The
And
Message.
then we're going to play this, and then we're going to go ahead into NBC News, and we'll be back on the other side. Fringe Radio on K-Talk.
Enjoy.
Of course, we're always live on the Inception Radio Network. We want to say hello to all of our listeners on Inception Radio. You see the whole gang is in the chat room tonight with all their little comments and questions. A lot of fun as always.
Are any of them sponsors
They
by
do,
chance?
no, they're not. They do like your clothes, though, Ted.
Oh, they do?
Yeah, they do. Some people are commenting about your shirt and your hats. On your website, what's your website?
What is it?
Yeah, give us the URL.
www.therosephantom.com.
There you go.
You can see all, you can hear all the music, see all the videos, see all the clothes that I
Make yourself.
screw up.
No, you make all your own clothes.
Yes, and hats.
And
If they like the hats, which we'll be talking about the hat I'm actually wearing right
Go ahead,
now.
let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
When we get into the Conjuring the Spirits
Right,
talk,
right.
this is the actual hat that came flying off in that episode. So I'm wearing that hat as we speak right now.
But you do make all your clothes.
I do.
But you don't sell them.
I don't, because I guess they're all kind of prototypes, like the clothing, that's what I would give a designer or something if someone wanted to make a line of
The Rose Phantom.
I'd call them like Rose Phantom clothes, something like that. But yeah, I do all the sewing and painting, needlework, and bleach. I do a lot of bleaching.
Acid.
But I call
Wash,
them,
not smoking.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Acid
Acid
wash, not
Remember
acid
when,
under
maybe
the
it's a little
tongue.
beyond your time, but maybe you remember years ago when a couple of the big thing was taking the jeans and the jean jackets and shooting them with a shotgun and selling them for just ridiculous amounts of money.
I don't remember that, but that's a great idea. If anyone out there has a shotgun,
I've got that.
you have a shotgun?
I do. We could probably make a line of clothing
Let's-
for you. Just shoot on the fence out back here.
Oh yeah.
I have pet rocks for sale.
Okay. Let's go ahead and just shut his mic off. I'm sorry I brought him. I would love to have my own clothing line someday. We could put that on the old list here of things I'd love to do, but I need kind of more of a budget to do them, because we live in a world that requires money.
Yeah.
The root of all evil.
All right.
Okay.
All right. But we need it. We got to have it. So the message.
The message, yes.
We played that right before the news. What inspired you to write that, and how did that come about?
The message is kind of more, I don't know, it's kind of an interesting track. It doesn't follow kind of the traditional guidelines of a pop song where you have kind of, the verse, chorus, middle eight, and that kind of thing. It's kind of a step in more of a experimental direction for me. A little bit more, kind of diving more into the creativity behind it and kind of losing yourself in that and not really letting anything steer it towards trying to make it more marketable.
Okay.
I don't know if I'm making sense here.
No, you are.
Really just doing whatever I want. And that's the sound of me doing whatever I please.
Did you record everything yourself? Is that 100% you?
Yes. I did all the instrumentation, everything, the singing, of course, everything. Engineered, produced, mixed by myself. But I had it mastered by a good guy in Ireland, Aidan Foley. He's worked with some big bands in Ireland. U2 being one of them, which is pretty awesome. Dead Can Dance. He's worked with them, so you know he's known in the mastering world.
I did send the link out to the chat room, but there's a music video that accompanies this. Is that on your website?
It should be. My webmaster, I don't know if he's put it up yet. He's kind of slow. But I actually would prefer people to hear the song the first time with the video.
Okay.
Because really, that's how, I don't know, it's more of a video track, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I'd say send the link out to the listeners. Send the link for the video out.
Okay.
So they can really dive into the mood of this track.
So speaking of visuals, let's talk about. That's a perfect segue into your video, your kind of your plan, what you're working on. Conjuring the Spirits.
The new project
is a new project that's going on, and as I mentioned the last time you were on the show, we talked about it. I think it is so cool because what you're doing is so different than all these other ghost hunter shows. I mean, I think the reality shows are cool, but I think there's too many of them. I think they're turning into Keeping Up with the Kardashians. There's too much drama. It's all about the drama. I think they're kind of losing it. I think it's time for something really, really new. And I think what you have to offer. Do you want to talk about, before we talk about this particular video, you want to talk about kind of the concept about kind of doing the, if you want to call it, investigation, and then the music, tying that in, because that's what makes it so different.
Yeah, that's what kind of sets Conjuring the Spirits aside from all those other, we'll call them reality shows that we're lucky enough to get attention from network.
We're trying.
I don't know how they did that. If they could just give me a call and let me know what I have to do in order to get the attention from a network.
Or to send the check.
Servicing in them.
Yeah. Who do I have to service? You threw me off.
Okay.
What was I saying? I'm so sorry.
So the difference between what you're doing is very unique. Is you're taking the investigation,
yes,
and then incorporating the music into it.
Yes, because which I think has been proven in our debut episode.
Okay.
That was shot at the old Montana prison.
Okay.
So if people want to check that out, just go to conjuringthespirits.com and it's right there. Just make sure you're watching the debut episode called Conjuring the Spirits, Old Montana Prison. What happened there is, I still can't even comprehend exactly what we captured it on film. It's hard to believe, but I think that we've proven here that music has the power to conjure spirits and kind of it's just crazy. What happens in this episode is just the world needs to see it. This is a big deal in the paranormal world here, and I'm just kind of struggling with getting the right exposure on this episode because what we've captured here is I want to say it's groundbreaking. If I can say that.
Yeah. No, you can. And I will be honest with you. I haven't watched the entire episode.
No, come on.
But I have watched bits and pieces of it, and it's an hour and 3 minutes long, and this is done. And I don't know if old Purg over here did you do all the video editing on this, or was it a collaboration?
I just reviewed it as he edited it.
Yeah, the editing on this episode, it took me a month of meticulous editing.
Well, I'll tell you, for the listeners that are listening, go check out the video because this is on par with a Ghost Adventures.
You think so?
Oh, without a doubt. Yeah,
Well,
and I've seen plenty of these. I mean, this could be. I mean,
You think it stands up?
Yeah, I think it does.
I do too.
Well, no, but that's good. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, if you say, yeah, I made this thing, I busted my ass, and it sucks. Well, I mean, you believe in what you do, and that's what makes you you. But you know, it's on par with a ghost adventure. And I've seen a lot of these videos. I've got tons of them sent to me, and it's enjoyable to watch. It does not get boring by any means. I told you I'd do anything I can in my power to help you out with the little bit of knowledge I've got in this business, to try to just at least send you in the right direction, because somebody needs to see this.
Yeah, it needs to be seen. Like I said, I feel what happened here with you know, doing the performance there inside the prison. It's groundbreaking.
So
what happens?
So why don't you give us a couple things? Why the old Montana prison? Maybe you can talk a little about that, and maybe just a little bit of a synopsis of kind of what happens, and then kind of the climactic ending with your hat. We definitely want to hear about that.
Yeah, I guess that's why we're here, right? I'll let Pete, why the old Montana prison? I'll just let Pete take the mic on that one. Why? Why that one? He found it.
Just doing some research and just came across it. It was an interesting museum. Like, it went from a prison to being a museum, and
like
they had a
overnight.
Really?
They had a not a guillotine, but a hanging
gallows.
Yeah, they had the traveling gallows there.
Galloping gallows there, yeah.
And so that was pretty interesting, that being outlaw-y.
It just had like a kind of an abundance of paranormal stories. So, you know, because I was wondering, you know, yeah, it's an old prison, but is it haunted? Is it really haunted? You know, and so and we have in the video, in the episode, there's some stories that are shared, and I guess, you know, to answer the question, is it haunted? Yes,
Very
it is,
much.
and I think we have some proof of that, real proof of that.
So you went up there. How many days did you spend up there shooting?
Oh, we spent 3 days.
Yeah.
So you brought all your equipment up.
We packed. I don't know how we did it, but we packed pretty much my my whole life into his car. My musical equipment, my PA system, all the ghost hunting equipment, my camera gear, just everything, all the gear, thousands of dollars, just everything I've worked for in my life in that car. And we hauled it up to Deer Lodge, Montana. And we were there for about 3 days. We did the investigation and everything in one day. We had the prison all to ourselves. There was two other people there that were there for the interviews, and then they left. And then they just had the place unlocked for us. And we were running around there all night until 6 a.m. is when we left. And and our hotel was just like right down the street. So it was kind of, we didn't sleep that night.
So did you capture a lot of stuff? I mean, did you get a lot of EVPs? Did you get a lot of things that went off? I mean, obviously the activity level was pretty high there. Yeah,
the activity level was pretty high. I thought the spirit box is probably one of my favorite things to do. I really am into, you know, the spirit box and using those radio frequencies to generate the white noise. I think that's just so interesting, and I usually get a lot of good results. I get like Class A EVPs from that. But at the prison, we didn't really receive any spirit box voices. Not too many. What mainly went on there, aside from what happens later with my hat, you know, and the whole music thing, because the music is what I believe is what made that happen.
Conjured the spirit.
Conjured the spirit. Yes, the music did conjure the spirits. But before that, of course, we're doing a traditional ghost hunt. We're doing all the things that you see on all the other shows.
Did you have a lot of activity happen when you were? I mean, did
Well, aside from minimal spirit box voices, what we were getting when we were doing the traditional ghost hunt is lots of EMF spikes. At one point we were down in the tunnels, which, yeah, this prison had tunnels, which were, and we're in complete darkness this whole time.
Pitch black.
Pitch black. No one's there. It's just creepy. And I'm going to admit here that, you can probably see it on my face that, I'm a little bit creeped out, maybe a little bit scared. I hesitated on using that word. We all know Pete was scared, but down in the tunnels, when we were, I was just doing kind of I had the Mel meter with me. We were doing kind of a EMF sweep down there, and that's when I started receiving these EMF spikes on the Mel meter, like pretty high ones. I think 11.8 or something. That was one of them. And actually, my device did alarm my kind of. I don't know if any of the listeners know what a Mel meter is, but it's a device that. It kind of comes with this antenna that's kind of radiating a separate magnetic field, and if anything comes within proximity of that, it will alarm. And that's what happened down in the tunnels. My antenna, something came in proximity of it, and my device alerted. And I didn't touch it, nothing like that. And this is when we were receiving all of these EMF spikes. It's when I was putting it inside the chapel. Whoa! Okay, hold on. That was not me. That was not me. So down in the tunnels, I was a bit scared, actually.
It wasn't a good feeling.
It wasn't. Not down in those tunnels, but it's kind of funny because I was a little bit. I was shaking and stuff. It was intense.
Did you feel like something was down there?
Oh, yeah.
Was the temperature changing? I mean, that's something, ambient temperature?
Yeah, that's also something that the Mel meter features, has an ambient temperature kind of little device thing that's attached to it. So, and there wasn't very many fluctuations in the temperature that night. It was just cold the whole night. It was just freezing.
My toes were numb.
Yeah, it was
really?
It was bad. It was a very cold night, and
it was colder inside the building than it was outside.
Yes. In any of the parts of the prison, it was colder, and I definitely was not dressed for that. I was wearing all leather.
When you were down there? I mean, did you hear anything? Did you pick up anything?
Oh yeah,
I mean,
some growls and screams that were just like.
I mean, physically heard, or?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we were hearing.
We pointed out in one of the segments towards the end.
Yeah, and if you watch the episode, you're going to see kind of a theme going on with this howling voice throughout the episode. Either Pete will say, "I'm hearing like a howling," or I say, "I heard a howling thing out here," and then later we both actually hear the howling in the shower section. So we're hearing lots of that type of stuff, lots of unexplained noises, bangs, things of that nature. There's a pretty loud bang in the shower section.
Did you hear that? It's like someone was yelling. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
That night was insane.
Crazy stuff.
It was an insane night. It's funny because what I realized is kind of what I was going to say earlier is, for example, when we're down in the tunnels, and you can even maybe see it on my expression on my face, is I'm a little bit, scared, whatever. Just, it's a different kind of scare.
Yeah.
Just a little bit like, and you'd think that would last all night, but it didn't. Once we started got the music side of things going, my whole perception changed that night. I almost felt, I want to say possessed, but not in a negative way. It was almost as if the music was. I was not scared. I was exhilarated. I was almost high, off what I was producing with the music.
Were you absorbing the energy?
I was in that mood. I was living in that atmosphere.
And it drained me.
during the performance on the theremin musical instrument that I was performing on, and then also the custom drone from the synthesizers that I created to play there. That's the type of music I was playing. It's very dark. It's considered kind of dark ambient music, but it almost acted as if, I don't know, it's like the music was kind of my armor. I wasn't scared with the music, but when you take the music away and just put me in a dark tunnel with just like my millimeter that's all alarming, you know, and
right.
spiking on me, that's more creepy to me. But I know Pete here he wouldn't concur with that, because, I mean, why don't you tell them what you were feeling during the music?
Well, my body was just shutting down. I couldn't move, and he was just like on his high, just like. It was a
total contrast when we were filming, and you can actually in
I
the
felt
episode,
like something was like leeching onto me.
He was definitely in some type of trance, it seemed.
Really?
And there's a few bits in the episode that I think actually kind of make the episode, where he's shutting down on me, and I was I filmed it. I was trying not to let him know I was filming, but I kind of filmed him shutting down on me. He's just kind of almost like he just looked drowsy. You ever been around someone who just woke up, who just like got out of bed, and they're just kind of like floating almost?
Yeah.
That's what was happening to this guy.
What are you feeling? What's up?
I don't know. I'm just.
Ryan, this is exciting. We're breaking through into another realm almost. This is exciting. You okay?
It's a little trippy.
It is trippy, but embrace it.
And it was just in total contrast to what I was feeling.
But up to that point, you were fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I would assume your adrenaline had to be running pretty high, being scared. I mean, when you're nervous or scared, obviously.
Yeah, yeah, and I guess it was more of a nervous. I like that word over scared. Before the music, it's more of a nervous. During the music, for me, it was just incredible. That's a mood that I want to live in. That's kind of what I'm chasing here. That's the whole point of this, is to understand exactly what music can do in an environment like that, and the kind of music that we're playing.
Did you, okay, now my question is, the music that you played, did you have it all ready to go, or was it kind of, you kind of knew what you wanted to do, but you got there, you got caught up in the moment, if you will, the place kind of spoke to you, if you will? Is that how you made the music, or did you have something pre-done, or, I mean?
So what I have here, and you can see it in the episode, I've got my my main keyboard here, and I've got my laptop mixer, and then I have my theremin instrument, which I play through a delay pedal and amplifier. And I custom made the drone that is happening underneath the theremin when I'm performing on the theremin.
Okay.
There's kind of this drone going. That was made custom for that night. And that was a mix of, I created that on location and also had a little bit of that pre-recorded. So I was kind of adding to it with my keyboard at the location to make it even more ominous.
Now that's in the video too, right? Is that now?
What, ominous? The word ominous?
No. Your
ominous.
Yeah, it gets said a lot, that word.
There you go. The music that you made in there, the video that you made, that's in Conjuring the Spirits. People can hear that.
Oh yeah, it's.
Are you going to take
the last 15 minutes of the episode?
Are you going to take that and put that into like an album, or are you going to make a single out of that?
I've had a lot of people ask me that question. What am I going to do with this music? And actually, throughout the entire episode, the music that you hear going on in the background, just during like the interviews and stuff, just music that kind of sets the tone. That was also created by me, and I kind of have at least, 10 sessions of dark music that I've done specifically for this show, and I've thought about releasing it, under the Rose Phantom and just calling it, Conjuring the Spirits, Volume 1, and if I make more, which I will for future episodes, I'll maybe release that as a Conjuring the Spirits Volume 2, So it's in the back of my mind to release this, because I'm always fascinated by other artists, other musicians that kind of dive into other types of genres. Sure. And I kind of see myself as one of those musicians that can go into kind of ambient music, instrumental, and then go into kind of heavier stuff, and then more poppy stuff. So definitely that's a big possibility.
So every episode will have its own unique score/soundtrack.
Yes, every episode will have a performance at the location, and also it will have custom music going throughout the episode.
Yeah.
Just during like interviews and things like that, just to have, instead of just no music at all. It's good to kind of have the mood going. Helps the rhythm of the episode. Music enhances everything. It brings ghosts out. And I've always thought that, but putting it to the test has really actually changed my life.
Bringing them out for the good or for the bad?
It's definitely not bad. I mainly just I don't know. I don't even know if I have a preference with that. It's just I felt like I was proving a point that the vibrations and the power of music can do this. And I'm not necessarily thinking of trying to conjure up negative spirits or anything like that. I mean, I don't want that. And I wear protection. That sounded bad.
Prophylactic.
Hold on here. Let me explain.
No. Okay.
Certain stones.
Sure.
Things like that I wear around my neck, and things that can keep negative energy away.
Sure.
And we do sage ourselves and things like that. So definitely don't want to conjure up negative.
Something evil.
No, I don't. But I don't know. I just I think the point is to conjure up anything at all is remarkable by using
Music.
Power of music.
Yeah.
Just being able to conjure up anything, and that's kind of what this first episode at the Montana prison is all about. It's like, let's go to a location that has kind of reports and all the history of being haunted. Let's put it to the test. Let's do it there. And to be honest, I wasn't expecting anything to happen, because I also do the spirit box while performing on the theremin. I'll stop on the theremin, I'll do the spirit box, try and get some responses that way, which we did during the performance. We got some really nice EVPs from that say like
music.
Yeah, the music and things like that.
So you entertained them.
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
Why can't why can't they be entertained? I mean, why can't spirits be entertained? I mean, we entertain ourselves. I mean, with music and.
Yeah, it was a crazy night. We didn't sleep after because my hat flies off during the performance.
We got a break coming up in just a few seconds. We'll talk about that on the other side.
And it was incredible. I didn't sleep for a month. Did not sleep.
I can believe it. Our guest tonight is the Rose Phantom Purgatory Pete. We're talking more about music and their video, Conjuring Spirits.
What?